All right, we're going live. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Saturday Morning Streams, part 5, I think. We're playing Blasphemous. This is a weird and violent and gross game, and I have completed one playthrough of it, as you can see there. We're going to start from the beginning, because hopefully I'll be able to kind of speed through it, and also, because the beginning cutscenes are, like, really cool. The cutscenes are some of the coolest parts of this game, and I want everyone to be able to see them. So, in the chat, tell me if my audio sounds good. I think I actually fixed the echoing from the last couple times. If I haven't, ooh, good luck to us all. So we'll see. But anyway, let's jump right in.
Because it is my guilt, I claim you grievous miracle.
So, without being too cliche, a lot of the dialogue in this is, we'll say, marginally Dark Soulsy. There's a lot of kind of contextless statements, but the greater context is kind of Catholicism, which makes it interesting. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad. And here's our first... someone made a joke before the stream started that this is the advertiser-friendly game, which it is most certainly not. I think I'm going to try to skip the parts. There are actual parts with nudity in this, and they're, like, pixelated, of course, but, like, I don't know what'll get me nabbed by YouTube, so I might skip those cutscenes. Hi, Wednesday. That's very nice.
And thus, guilt, repentance, mourning, and every pain of the soul of all kind were visibly and tangibly manifested.
There are a lot of lines like this that really are very hard to parse, but they're also not that different from, like, any kind of religious service, which I find kind of hard to parse. So, like, I think maybe it's doing what it wants to. Okay. Lots of talking on a black screen.
Was called the miracle.
All right, so here we got big ol' JC chained up in the back, and we find our man, who is one of thousands of Coneheads, just hanging out, doing his thing. Thank you, Dalton. I appreciate. I said this in the chat and kind of in hard to read red lettering at the bottom of the screen, but any super chats from this stream and from all of my streams go to the North Carolina Orange County Rape Crisis Center, just because I've got generous patrons. I'm making some money from YouTube monetization, so why not give some more to people and places who need it. So now we are in the game proper. So it's Metroidvania is used a lot to talk about this game, which isn't incorrect. It's certainly 2D. You do a lot of backtracking. You jump around. You get new abilities and stuff. But one of the things that I like about it is it's got a pretty involved combat system, or at least it needs you to really be able to use the few mechanics that it has. Now we're near the start, so things probably won't be too challenging. But we've got our first boss right here. And he's holding a candle, and he's mad about it. Oh. Okay, I'm doing poorly because I'm too impatient. So he only has, like, 2 attacks, and so he's pretty easy to avoid if you're not an idiot. Which I am. No shame to anyone else. Basically, he just jumps, and then he slams his candelabra on the ground. And we avoid both of those, and he should be going down pretty quickly. Oh, don't avoid it. There we go. It was tough, but we made it through. It's a candelabra. You're right. Okay, now we've got a really gross cutscene. which I assume this is the reason why everyone's here. You know, some days you just gotta fill your giant metal cone with blood and douse it over your head. We've all been there. You know that feel. So someone asked if I'm going for ending A or B. I'm certainly not going to do the whole game in this run through. Probably, now that I know how to get the good ending, that's the one I'll go through on replays. Because it's not actually that hard. It's not that much harder than the bad ending. You just kind of have to know these couple specific things to do.
This can be found in the mother of mothers of the churches.
Yeah, the pixel art is really gorgeous. It's not similar in style necessarily, but in detail, it reminds me of kind of the first couple cutscenes of Hyper Light Drifter, which are just some of the best pixel art around. Okay, boy, Alright. The man talks a lot. So we have these little stations, which are essentially the bonfires of this world. When we die, we come back to there. You don't really lose resources in the same way as Dark Souls, but what you do lose is a little bit of your magic meter, and it compounds. And so you can have situations where you have left little bits of your mana all over the map, and you have to kind of go around and get them all back before you can fully refill your meter. And so it's kind of interesting. Usually I just ended up paying for it, to bring it all back, because you can do that as well. As an interesting question, Tamar asked, there are a lot of games with kind of Christian iconography. There are not as many with overtly Jewish iconography. What would that look like? It's hard to say, because I mean, a lot of anything Old Testament is Jewish iconography. We just kind of associate it more with Christianity. Oh, we got some gory executions also. There are games that are specifically about Judaism, but more in a modern day setting, like the Shiva, which I have not played, but I've heard is super good. Probably the Shiva. I'm not sure. I like what kind of a historically Jewish game would look like. I don't think we really need a Moses parting the Red Sea game. And we have Assassin's Creed Origins, of course, which is sort of in that vein.
There is no answer to our plea.
Now we got a big talking face. I would say to anyone considering this game, it's got a lot of comparisons to Dark Souls, which makes sense. It's a dark game, and you go back to the same place when you die and whatever. But it's not nearly as difficult. There are some hard parts, but this is not really a frustrating game in the same way. And so if that kind of aspect of Dark Soulsiness has scared you off, I would say don't worry about it too much, because it's manageable, it's doable.
In sundowns, we need, but if your penance happens to the will in...
Okay, all of these ideas for Old Testament games in the chat are far better than what I have. Exodus clicker, like Cookie Clicker, but Exodus, Old Testament dating sim. The Doom clone about Noah where you tranquilize the animals. You could have a zoo simulator with Noah's Ark. Nope. Okay, parry was not on point there. Okay, actually, I think I should go back and explore. So this kind of town is the central hub, and kind of like Dark Souls, a lot of the elevators and pathways you find will bring you back here. And there's some stuff below that I should go check out before getting too far, because one of them is an upgrade to our sword. And we got some more nice pixel art here. Dude, playing Universal Paperclips for a stream would be the most boring stream. The way that I beat that game was literally like having it on in the background at work, and I would like go to a meeting and come back and it'd be like, okay, I've got like 5 trillion paperclips. I guess I can buy the next upgrade now. God, look at this. This is so good. It's just so cool. Like, I would 100% watch a full-length movie done in that style. Is religion a good thing or a bad thing in this game? Great question. It doesn't really... I mean, for all of its incredibly overt religious iconography, it's never really like... And we're all Catholics here, and this is when we take communion, or whatever. Like, it's not that obvious about it. But I think the overall lesson, and actually, former Game Informer writer and very good writer, J.V. Gwaltney, wrote a thing that was basically like Blasphemous turns Catholicism into a haunted house. Which, haunted houses, you know I'm all about that. But it's just like, I think the point is like, isn't it weird that this is a... God, shoot. Isn't it weird that this is a worldwide religion? There are like millions of people who kind of do interact with this kind of stuff every day. But when you really look at like the imagery of it, a lot of it is like incredibly grotesque. And that's not a new take per se, but it does make for a hell of an art style. So these guys, these kind of early game enemies are all to just kind of teach you how to parry. Oops. Parrying is interesting in this game because it's not quite the, like, instant win button that it is in Dark Souls. It's like the timing is easier. Ooh, another gross execution. The timing is easier for sure. But there are a lot of bosses that just kind of expect that you'll be able to do it, and it's like you don't even always get a hit on them afterwards. You just don't have a block button, and so it's really important to be able to parry because a lot of times it's like the only way you can avoid damage. Okay, we got a big boy here. And one very, very kind of both Dark Souls and Metroidvania way of looking at this is like, we got a bunch of shortcuts because you will be backtracking a lot in this game. Especially, I did the first playthrough because one thing that I would criticize about it is that the things you have to do are pretty obscure sometimes. And so I wandered around for a while not really knowing where to go. I've covered the same amount of ground many times, but fortunately, it gives you different kinds of shortcuts to kind of make that backtracking a little quicker. I can never get the timing right on these things holding the big statues. There are a lot of items or things that are kind of out of the way that just hint at like the fact that you will get more abilities later in the game. Like that, you pretty early on, you get kind of like a projectile that you can shoot out of your sword. And those little babies in cages. Oh, I guess I can get that one already. A lot of them, you need advanced abilities to be able to break them, and they're not really required for progression, but they are a collectible, and you can get some extra stuff from them. All right, I am pretty low on health here. I'm hoping that Later in the game, you can get like a lot of kind of recovery vials, and it's easy to move around. And so it's one of those games with kind of an inverse difficulty curve. Now, early in the game, I've got no health, and I don't know where to go to recover it. So everyone cross their fingers for me, please. Can we? And look, like in Dark Souls, never be above cheesing enemies. Because they will cheese you. And turnabout is fair play. Oh, okay, this is a... So one thing about this game, the combat is not super hard. There is some tricky platforming. And so if you get frustrated by kind of being knocked onto spikes or doing anything like that, be prepared for it in Blasphemous, because it will screw you over and laugh at you. Who? Okay. Doing good. Feeling strong. I hope there's a shrine up here or something that I can save at. Oh, shoot. I went up first. Okay. So there is a shrine up here. This is kind of the most difficult of the paths to choose. I think I'm actually going to go back down, because this is the way that I came up the first time. But the enemies are really hard up here, and they're not as hard in other places. So we're going to kind of give it a pass and go explore some other parts of the world. I had a really... I've been playing a lot of, like, big games this year, or I've been playing, like, fucking Assassin's Creed Odyssey for, like, 80 hours and still haven't seen credits on it. I was playing kind of Control and other AAA games, and I really liked, like, the kind of, the scale of this game, where I could beat it in, like, a couple sittings, and the kind of, like, the systems, which are complicated, but not too complicated. I'm a big fan. It was a nice kind of like palate cleanser game to play, which is, kind of funny given that this is like an incredibly gross game about like with really violent imagery. But for me, it was just what I needed, a kind of gelato between entrees. That's a great point. Shelf full of trash. Always a fun thing to say as well. Shelf full of trash had a really good point there. But they said a lot of our associations between Catholicism and terrifying imagery come from Gothic architecture, feudalism, and the medieval Western Church's relationship with the pagans. And I think that is a good point. Okay, so I think we can't quite get in here yet. This is, God, look how beautiful this is. Yeah, so this guy tells us that basically we need to find a couple keys to open this door, because it is a video game. Thank you, Flemma Snow. This game has less downtime than other games I've been streaming, because other than like short cutscenes, you're basically playing the whole time. So it'll be a little less good at looking at chat. But I very much appreciate everyone here. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. I have been I've been traveling for work for the past couple days, and it was in a hotel, which was really nice, and I got to sleep, and I watched Fast and Furious 8 on TV 2 nights in a row, because that's what was showing on the channels that they had. But it feels nice to be home. Oh, we've got a fan. We've got a follower. The bridge is one you can find in Sevilla in Spain. That is really cool. I would love to see. I bet a lot of this game is based on like real life architecture, and I don't quite have the literacy to know where everything's from. But I would love to see someone kind of put together a list of all the places and their inspirations. Okay, I kind of don't know where I'm going here. I think there's a save point around here somewhere. Aha! There's one of the cooler community mods that I've seen is this mod for Resident Evil 4 that's like a total texture overhaul, which doesn't sound, you know, it's like great that people do that, but you wouldn't think of that as kind of like a artistically interesting project as much as just kind of like, oh, you're gonna make it higher resolution. But actually what that mod does is like they found the original inspirations for like all of the places in Resident Evil 4. You know, it's like, oh, this is the specific church in Spain that they modeled, you know, this wall texture off of. And they would go there and take photographs of it and then like put those in the game instead, and it's so cool. It's a really neat mod. So you can see we're kind of opening shortcuts here. So our next time down this pathway will not take nearly as long. Yo, Bloodborne is the best. I've been seeing... why did I see people talking about Bloodborne? I don't know. But I get a thing like once a year where I'm like, guess I gotta replay Bloodborne, and I'm kind of getting to that place again. Bloodborne is an infinitely replayable game. Especially those games, all of the FromSoft games, but I think especially Bloodborne, are like so rewarding when you know what you're doing. You know? Okay, this feels like a trap. Yep. Wow. I thought it was a trap. Oh. Ah! That seemed scripted. It was not. I just didn't remember. Okay, that wasn't too bad, though. Yeah, okay, so the deeper... This is I really like the kind of enemy progression here, because it's one of those games where it's kind of like the deeper you go, the more bizarre enemies get. And so now we've got these kind of like cardinals on flying chairs coming around, poking us with their big sticks. Ugh. Don't quote that out of context. One of the main collectibles in this game are just like bones. So we just got the cervical vertebrae of Zyker, the brewmaster, or Zycher. This is the kind of Souls influence that I don't care about that much, which is like these very vague descriptions of characters that would probably make sense if you all like put them together. I just kind of don't have the patience for that kind of storytelling, and it's not to say that's bad, and I watch Vadi video like the rest of us, but it's not. I don't do that kind of like archaeology myself as much as kind of, oh shoot, I wasn't even paying attention to my health. F's in chat, boys. Okay, thank you. It told me how to dodge. Most Catholic relics are bones is a hysterically true sentence. It's like, hey, where do you keep most of your history? Oh, you know, like bones. Oh. I have not played the game I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, but I have read the short story, which is, of course, fantastic. I'm a big Harlan Ellison fan. We've got, this is our version of the Resident Evil 4, the good old merchant who you skip through their lines. They're kind of hard to find. These merchants aren't marked on the map, which makes it very hard when you're backtracking and feel like, I guess I should buy something. Makes it hard to find them. Okay, so there's... Oh, ow. This is... Gosh. This is our bonfire. Wow, I am getting just destroyed. Okay, there we go. Slow and steady. Nope. Ow. Says slow and steady and immediately does the opposite. Oh, I guess I can... Some things you have to do at a thing. Here, we've got a couple magics that I hadn't equipped either. My favorite one, and this is really... It's pretty simple, but it's also, like, unusual enough that I really dug it, is there's a magic that basically just makes you able to swing your sword much faster. And so when you, like, really know an enemy's weak point, you can just, like, blow them away with your damage output. And it is a fun thing to do when you have totally figured out an enemy's pattern and then can just, like, throw out 20 sword strikes in a second. Shabbat Shalom. Going back to Wednesday in the chat is asking about... Oh, hello.
From a place of blessings have I been entrusted with what? My name is Viridiana. I have been granted a gift with which I can penitent one.
Okay, so this... I did this last time. She asks for help. Or she asks if you want her help. And I said yes, because I was like, yeah, I want help. And I don't know if I got anything bad because of it. Because usually it's like... If you ask for help, then it's like, aha, she stabs you in the back later. I don't think she did. But I don't want to say no in case I, like, can't do it without her. We're going to say yes. And just take the consequences. Bloodborne streams would be slightly difficult just because I don't have a capture card. And so I'm only streaming things on the PC right now. But in the future, it would be fun. I'm also not that, like, I die a lot in Bloodborne, which I know everyone does, but it's like, oh, okay. We got a boss coming up, folks. We got an angry tree. Okay, we're gonna use that magic that allows us to strike really fast. Ow. And immediately get a hit. So this is not too hard of a boss. A lot of it is just like knowing... Oh, ow. Kind of staying patient, knowing how many strikes you can get in before... Ow. Now I'm kind of backed into a corner, though. I would like him to back up, because I don't have any room. I mean, I guess he can keep doing this. Oh, okay. So we can zoom past him while he's doing that. Let's amp up our sword again. See how fast I'm able to hit him now? See how fast he's able to hit me now? Oh, that was close. So we've got that lady in the background standing there. She's the one who will ostensibly help us. I'm not sure. I think if I get close to death, she heals me. Fortunately, not close to death yet. Oh, ow. Shoot. I'm close enough now that I wouldn't say no. Help me, lady. I'm also going to change to a different magic. Oh, oh, she healed me, but it wasn't soon enough. F's in chat. Yeah, this totally looks like a Leshen from The Witcher 3. One thing I like about this game is that it will typically put you right next to the boss arena instead of making you, like, run back 5 minutes or so, which is a total pain in the ass in Souls games, especially Bloodborne. Oh, man. Ow. Honestly, like, the secret to doing well at this game and beating the bosses is almost always just patience. Just don't get greedy. Just don't hit them too much. Don't do the thing that I'm doing. Ow! Okay, I need to get out of the corner here. I mean, this is actually very easy to do damage, and here we go. This is our chance. Get out of there. We got our magic back. Smack him around. I love how she's just standing in the corner there, like, oh, it looks like you're fighting a giant tree. If you almost die, but not quite, I will unhelpfully give you health. Oops, ow. Oh, okay. I think we're doing pretty good here. He says. There we go. Take that, tree. Whew. All right. Good job. Killed the tree. We avenged the statue. Everything is good. Yeah, I generally felt like Radical Wicked said in the chat that Sekiro improved the kind of run back to the boss room. I totally agree. I think a lot of times they just put respawn points like closer to the bosses. And you're so fast in that game and you can jump and everything, so it didn't take nearly as long. Oh, we got some good pixel art here. I mean, the whole game is good pixel art, but like this shit is like 80s movie weird. Hello.
Great ordeal and the sons of the miracle.
Look at that. Like, that's so... I have no idea what I'm looking at, but it's so cool. I really like how things kind of rock back and forth in this. Like, it really makes the pixel art look 3D. But I don't think it's... Like, there's a thing in Dead Cells where it was, like, 3D models that were kind of made to look pixely. And this is, I think, all hand-animated 2D art. But it's just done so well that things kind of look like they have a third dimension. All right, we got our bondage boy here. Tingle. BDSM Tingle is telling us what to do. Yeah, the parallax throughout this whole game is like, I have no idea how many layers they have going, but it is a lot. Oh, okay. Here's the part. YouTube, please don't get mad at me. This is in the game and it's religious.
Blessed are the eyes that with devotion see my tormented heart.
Don't look. Don't get the wrong idea.
Come to me, for they are pleasant penance.
I kind of like how buff she is.
remains.
She's
must
like
be
fucking
found
ripped,
first.
dude.
Take the first one and purge one of your 6 mortal stains of the soul.
So now we have more health. That's how you get more health. I would also say, for the most part, there's only like a couple exceptions. The voice acting is very good in this game, and the stuff that they're saying kind of sometimes falls into that like religious gobbledygook category, but they're saying it very convincingly, and so it's fun to just kind of listen to them talk. What other game should I play for Spooktober, y'all? The Evil Within 2 is one that I'm excited about because I've never played that, and I'm doing a podcast on it later in the year. I haven't played the RE2 make, which I'm sure would be a good one. There are a lot of horror sequels that I haven't played. Okay, this dude will just blow up and kill us. I'm not exactly sure where we're going here. So this is the map, and as you can see, it does. We've got a long straight line, but we'll find a lot of stuff below it and also above it to kind of fill out. But right now, we're just running through it, man. And I don't really have a clear idea about where we're headed. I'm not sure what, look, I'm not a game dev. I won't try to be one. Seems like game devs love making you, like, hop through water that you can't walk quickly through, and I'm not sure what the purpose of it is. But, you know, maybe there is one, and I just can't think of it. Amnesia: The Dark Descent is good. RE2 makes, so yeah, that's one that I want to get my hands on. If there's, I assume Steam will have like a big Halloween sale, so I think I'm just gonna pick up both of those. Well, actually, if it's around Halloween, maybe that'll be too late. So I'll look at if they're on sale earlier. I'll look at it. I'm not raking in enough money from this YouTube thing to make like every game purchase a no-brainer, especially because I probably wouldn't do like a full video on Resident Evil 2 or Evil Within 2, although you never know. I don't know what games I'm going to make videos about until I play them, and sometimes not until like months or years later when I'm like, oh, this relates. I remember playing Amnesia: The Dark Descent for the first time, and it was pretty early. I was probably like a year or two after that game came out, but yeah, it was like I had never played anything close to that scary. I was just wigging out. I don't think I like even got to the part with like the first monster. There was just like so much kind of like groaning and moaning in the kind of general ambience that I was like, that's too much. I'm too scared. You know what an interesting game is Amnesia 2. I don't think it actually has a 2, but it's A Machine for Pigs. That is an interesting game. Because it's not really it's definitely not the same kind of horror game, and it's made by the Chinese Room, who are the people who made like Dear Esther and Everyone's Gone to the Rapture. And so if you think about the idea of like a walking simulator dev company making a horror game, it's bizarre. It is an interesting combination of genres, and the story is pretty cool, and the music is great because Jessica Curry did it, and like everything she touches is gold. Yo. One thing that this game does that Souls does as well, that's maybe a flaw, maybe not, it's hard for me to say, is like, it is pretty easy to just run past enemies. You know, like, especially because you can jump. You can just kind of scoot by them. Mercy kill. And that's not necessarily a detriment, but it is, you know, does make you wonder. Oh, hello. We got a guy with a big bell on his head. Wow, the parallax, there's like so much parallax going on, it's almost disorienting to look at. Like, oh. So I'm pretty proud of myself that I haven't fallen into any spike pits yet. There are a lot of spike pits in this game that you will just like fall into and die instantly. And that is probably not my favorite part of it. And now that I've said it, I feel like it's gonna happen any day now. Hey, thank you. Thank you so much, 8 Sahara. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong as well. That's really wonderful, and I appreciate it a lot. Said before, all the... Oh, boss breaking a tree open. Hey, don't break a tree. All the proceeds from the stream are going to the Orange County Rape Crisis Center. Now let me kick this guy's butt, and I'll talk more about it. But any super chats, I will really appreciate, and I will donate immediately afterwards. And also, I will make up... YouTube takes a chunk of it, but I'll take that hit. Like that's my donation. Is the YouTube cut essentially? Okay, we killed random flying lady. It's not Castlevania, but it's very inspired. All right, so now we're in... Oh, this is a cool place. There are a lot of cool places in the game's world, but like the lore of this part is awesome. So the idea of this, as he's saying, is there's this like a giant buried bell, and it's buried upside down, and you can like see it in the background here. And so when it rings, it like basically causes earthquakes. It is really creative and really interesting. So in this place, those bells can hit us and hurt us. Go. Ow. Oh, okay. Trapped in a corner. We got a scapula. Good news, everyone. One more bone to add to our collection. See, this is the guy who's ringing the bells. Stop it. Stop ringing bells. I think it's, Blue Roman asked, what are the themes of this game? Is it Christianity and gross? Kind of. That's not far off. You know, the themes of the story itself are kind of about, I think kind of about like sacrifice and maybe martyrship a little. You know, it's clear that your character is one of many characters that has attempted to do this thing, which is actually a very Souls-esque theme. And kind of seeing like what can you do, you know, when in the kind of religion sense, when you're being you're being told what to do by a higher power. Shoot. You're being told what to do by a higher power, and that higher power seems to not care about your well-being very much. And then you kind of come face to face with the powers that be, the powers that are telling you what to do, and have some... Oh, come on! I countered that, and then it went behind me and hit me, and I didn't get to jump to him. This is some BS. God damn it. Why is that jump so hard? The hat in this game reminds me of, I don't know if y'all have seen, it's just like a clip of Bloodborne, but there's that part of, there's a hat in Bloodborne that looks really like this, that's a big metal cone, and if you slide down a ladder wearing the big cone hat, it kind of goes like dung 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 on every rung, and it's so funny. It's like, Bloodborne is such a kind of like serious game most of the time that to see this like completely ridiculous thing in the middle of it makes it even better. I wish I had I haven't run into one of those like sword portals in a while, or like upgrade stations, but we should be able to get the kind of like magic from the next one that'll let us throw a little thing out, and then we would be able to take care of this guy, no problem. See, it starts going back. Okay, well, oh no. So I took care of the flying harpy thing, so now the jump should be easier to get over there. This is really... How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Oh, are you... Fuck. Okay, stop ringing the bells. Jump back up. Take care of this guy first. Drink some of her blood. I'm not actually sure. You're not really drinking it. You're just like smearing it all over your face. But in real life, that does restore your health. So like accurate in that way. Ha! Gotcha. All right. All good. You can see actually there are some places near here where there are kind of like roots growing out of the ceiling, and those are for an ability that we get later on. And then if we backtrack here, we can get some more cool stuff. Okay. Go. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, we'll kill the bell ringer here. You could probably speedrun that part without killing him, but not a big deal for us. Dark Souls and Hollow Knight is a good comparison to all of this. Hollow Knight, you know, because it's 2D, but with kind of a more in-depth combat system, it feels much... oh, shoot. Go! Well, at least we saved recently, or we got to a shrine. You know, Hollow Knight is as a game feels really like light and flexible, and this game, like, it's very responsive, but it feels a little like bulkier, if that makes sense. You know, you don't feel quite as bouncy as you do in Hollow Knight. But if you like Hollow Knight, I think you would like this game. I can certainly recommend it, at least that much. Oh. Shelf full of trash says it's not a harpy, it's a cherubim, or like a cherub, probably, or a related thing. It's something that I don't know much about, but I trust you, and that makes sense. Oh, they're like, here's how I know it. It's like that thing in Bayonetta, the flying heads that you fight. All my knowledge of Christianity comes from Bayonetta, the game where you fight angels. If you like Hollow Knight, if you are a functional human being, yes, it's a pretty easy recommendation to make. Where am I? Oh, I just kind of did a circle. Okay, so this is how we will get back to this area in the future. If I die, which of course I won't, because who would ever die playing this game? Not me. Okay, so that's the big bell in the background. The question is, do we want to ring it right now, or do we want to wait? I'm gonna wait and explore this way just a little bit. I would like to get another sword upgrade, honestly, because there's a boss down there, and you increase your damage by quite a bit with those different upgrades. Oh, don't die. As well as getting kind of special abilities, which can help out. Those executions seem to be kind of random when you get them. And I'm glad you don't get them for every enemy, because they would get boring. But when you do, it's, oh my goodness. Someone had a field day animating those. Oh. I remember, this room is a pain in the butt. Ow. See? Okay, hop up here, smear some blood. Ow, no, go! Shoot. Well, that hurts. That smarts. All right, well, we'll hit the bell and jump down and just see what's down there. And if it's too hard, then we'll keep exploring. If we can kill it, then we'll kill it, because why not? It's a video game. Bong. Oh, can I not ring it yet? Oops. Well, all that for nothing. We can't actually ring the bell yet. I forgot. I guess we've got to do some other stuff first. Yeah, the spike animations really make you feel like you have been impaled. Oh, okay, we got a big helmet guy here. He's not too difficult to avoid, honestly. These guys are much bigger pain in the ass. Why can I not? Oh, every time he hits the wall, I fall down. Every time he hits the wall, he gives himself a concussion. Come on. What? I'm sorry, who's talking about politics? I mean, look, man, I got bad news about all art. But I'm not trying to get political in this stream, other than the inherent politics of a game based on an institution that's been in power for, you know, it's a game about Catholicism. How are you not going to talk about politics? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes... sometimes I had someone, like, comment on one of my videos recently. It was on the headshot one about when I started talking about police brutality. They were like, wow, didn't see that, like, radical leftist politics coming. I was like, have you watched any of my videos, dude? Anyway, back to Blasphemous. So we cut down one of the chains holding that bell. So I guess that's probably what we have to do here, is we'll find the other statue holding the other one, and then we'll be able to break everything. Is this where we want to go? Is Jesus hot? 100%. Jesus is a DILF. So I'm kind of lost here. Oh, this is actually very Hollow Knight-esque. Staying with a moving platform as it. Hey, why can't I see it? Shoot, that seemed a little bullshit. The camera didn't go back down, so I couldn't. Like, I couldn't see it. Okay, wait till it starts going back. Jump on. Oh, no! That was lucky. Go, go! Okay, we are... Fuck! We are really flying by the seat of our pants there. That was a lot of near misses, and then my luck eventually ran out. How do we get back over there? I think it's this way. Go! Remember earlier when I was like, I'm feeling really good that I haven't fell on a lot of spikes. Bringing it all back now, baby. We're getting all the spikes in. I could also, I don't know the map well enough to know where the items are. So there are essentially, like, Estus shards in this game that will give you more health, more, like, blood vials. But I don't know how to find them. I can't, like, be like, we should go here and look for one. So I've still only got the 2 that I started the game with, which is starting to feel like not very many. Because later on you get, like, 8. Like, you have so many. Okay, big bell guy down here. Just jump over him. Is this even... This doesn't even look familiar to me. I hope we're going in the right direction. Okay, yep, here's the room. That is really annoying that you can't see under you. So now we've just got to hang out here and wait for it to come back. You guys go political as you want. I'm gonna keep playing this really hard platforming section, and I will trust you to take down the bourgeoisie on your own. Okay, doing good. No! I don't even know. Oops. I don't even know what's at the end of this. Like, I don't know if we're going towards, like, a vital part of the game, or if we're going towards, like, Jimmy the Kid's tibula. Is Jimmy the Kid a famous character from Catholicism? Like I said, my history is a little weak. I hope everyone in the chat expressing political views knows where I stand on this, which is the modern right wing is a bunch of fascists. I don't really have the energy to do this sort of conversation this morning on Shabbat of all mornings. But fuck off if you're doing some Nazi shit in the comments. This is Blasphemous, and we are waiting for a platform. This platform, I feel like the first time I did this, I got it on my first try and was like, oh, I guess that wasn't as hard as it looked. Now I am finding out that it's as hard as it looks. And once again, that little part just fucks me. Oh no, he is a liberal? Come on, man. I'm going to take a minute to look at these carvings in the background because they are cool. Okay. We're not bad. Yes. Oh, and it wasn't even important. And now we have to do it backwards? Now I've got to wait for it to come back. I'm just going to die on the way back and it'll be fine and we don't have to go down here again. I'm so mad. So what the thing was a sword core, which is something that we can put in at these save points. And basically what it does is it fuck. Basically what it does is it's like a trade-off, you know. It's like, oh, magic does more damage, but it also takes more mana to use or whatever. And like they're not particularly convincing to me. Like none of them seem like the trade-offs are worth the cost unless you were like really good at this game and really knew what you were doing. Which I obviously do not. I really like the term alpha male, just looking at the chat a little. I like alpha male and Chad and all that shit because it's like, it's so obviously ridiculous that I truly can't believe anyone like thinks they're meaningful terms. Like, Chad is the funniest shit I've ever heard. Hey, Color Bars, I kind of don't know if you're doing this ironically or not, but let's take it down a little. I think the satire is coming off a little, maybe not reading as much as you would like it to. Okay, these, my greatest enemy. See? I can't even get out. Okay, well, we picked up our thing. Okay, so we do actually have to go to the bottom of this, like, fuck room. Ow! No! This is... Earlier, I was like, hey, if you're worried about it being as hard as Dark Souls, don't be. You know, this game is pretty much fine. And here I am, getting my ass handed to me by a bunch of split in half boys. Okay. Goodbye. All right, we're gonna try to keep patient, think through things, and slowly and steadily get to the bottom immediately. I can't even get the sentence out. Maybe I should just avoid them entirely? Like if I can just, okay. There we go, we're down. I'm out of blood vials, so I really need to be careful here. And then jump up. Okay, the empty bile vessel. That is a gross name for the like Estus flasks in this game. So when we find a fountain, which is honestly as hard to find as the vials themselves, then we can refill it, and then we can get one more charge in our drink. Oh, I take it back. There we go. We can fill it up. Okay, so now we got 3 instead of 2. Okay, so that's the second one that we have to break before this game breaks me. Okay, so this is a bit of a puzzle, I think, where I have to use... It's not much of a puzzle. Basically, I have to time this so that it rings when it's over that kind of glass jar, and then it will break it, and then we will be set. Dong. Not quite. Next time. Not quite. You know, when people talk about all of the things that I had to do in the Middle Ages, no one talks about all the time you had to spend smacking bells and hoping that it would break glass. It was really one of their main hobbies. Okay, now we can break these big, hunky men holding the chain. And now that both chains are broken, we can get shit started. Oh, this is another puzzle room. Oh, okay. You know, I don't mind puzzles like these, but I also, like, does it tangibly improve the game? I'm not sure. But it didn't take long, and we did it, and I didn't have to look up a walkthrough for it. So that is fine with me. Now, a knot of rosary rope is what we use to kind of, like, improve the number of things that we can hold. You can have a number of artifacts that are like, you take less magic damage, or you know, have more mana. And you can just have more of them if you get knots of rosary rope. Which is, again, I assume what rosaries are used for in real life. I don't have much knowledge of it. So, like, Catholics who wear rosaries, do you just have more perk slots than the rest of us? Do you have sleight of hand and cold-blooded? I'm trying to think of more Call of Duty perks. Last Stand. What are the perks that religions would have? Don't answer that, please. I don't need to have that conversation. No. We were doing so well. Well, now we should spawn. We should spawn by the guys holding the bell. So maybe we can just ring it now. I'm not sure exactly where we are, so we might have to do a little backtracking. That was good. I felt good about that. It takes me hours to get past any of the other ones, but that guy just fucking took to school. And then missed my platform, because why wouldn't I? Yeah, I do. Jesus Christ, guys. Can we just... Can we move on from this? Okay, hold on. Hold the phone. How do we... Wasn't this thing moving at one point? How did we get over to the big guys? Oh, okay, I see. It's down a little more. I figured it out. Obviously, these blue parts are the land, so... Alright, let's go. Nope. Not quite. One thing, with a lot of the enemies, it's really easy to just kind of, like, stun lock them into killing them, which I think the developers know, and so they add, like, multiple enemies, so you can't just do it all the time. But it's still... I think I would prefer for it to be a little more involved. What? Oh, because I rested at a bonfire, so they're all back. You know, a lot of times it feels like you're just kind of wasting time to like, okay, this guy takes 4 slashes, so I do 4 slashes, and then I move on. Okay, here we go. Now we ring the big bell. Grievance ascends. You know Grievance. Grievance ascends. He's that guy who said General Kenobi. Nope. What is my favorite Dark Souls game? I mean, probably 1 in terms of, like, just Dark Souls, and I think I like Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne about the same. But I really like all of them. I mean, there is truly not one that I dislike. what? These fucking dudes in the wall drive me nuts. I think Dark Souls is maybe the most fun to replay because there are just so many different ways that you can do things. You know, it's not just like weapons that are different. It's, you know, the number of different bosses that you can fight first in Dark Souls is off the charts. And I think that is just so, so cool. Ding, dong, ding, dong. Oh, didn't even see him. Okay, so eventually we will get an item that kind of lets us out, lets us get through that toxic mist, but since we don't have it yet, we've got to be a little more careful about it. Oh, be careful, he says. Dead. I haven't played Slime Rancher. I have it for free on the Epic Store, I think. And it looks cool, but it also, I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think it's a fairly time investment-y game. And I have been digging games that I can kind of complete more quickly. But I do know of it, and I think the art style is very charming. You have to manage your slimes. Can we go up here? I think if we stay out of the mist, stay out of the mist. Stephen King's The Mist. Oh, okay. So this is... Actually, I might use this. This is a guy who will kind of, like, take all the places we've died and return them to us and give us our full mana meter back. And since I had died in, like, a bunch of different places and my deaths were kind of spread out... Oh, no. It seemed like a good idea to use it. For those curious about the good ending, there are a number of items you have to collect, but one of the things that you have to do is destroy all those statues. And then once you destroy them, there's kind of like a portal under them to, no, we gotta do more counters. There's like a portal under them, and then you kind of go through like a combat gauntlet. And I didn't know that until the very end, but if you know it earlier, presumably you could kind of get a move on before the end of the game. Okay, we've got a fucking wall boy here. See, I don't know how to fight them any better than just this, which is not a particularly interesting combat encounter. Go. Okay, come on. No! Why are some things so... Why are things hard? Why must man suffer? God, what? Like... Ugh. I should have just used magic there. Of course, I have definitely played The Last of Us. It's kind of a requirement at this point, I feel like, to be a real-ass gamer. I mean, you know, it was in 2012, as Last of Us and Bioshock Infinite were, like, my favorite games. I still think The Last of Us is a fantastic game. Probably not going to make a video about it, or at least not, like, just about it, because one of the things that I think about when I make videos is, like, do I have unique things to say? Like, do I have things to say that other people have not said? And with a game like The Last of Us, that's really hard to say unique things. If people are interested, I think one of the best unique takes on... Oh, no. One of the best unique takes on The Last of Us is by Gareth Damian Martin in Heterotopius, which is a magazine that I talk about a lot, but is an online zine. And he has an article called Death and the Anthropocene about The Last of Us, and about kind of environmentalism-ish, but basically how, like, humans have changed the planet enough that this fantasy of, like, we're returning to nature and everything's gonna be scrubbed clean is kind of naive at this point. Like, there will be remnants of humanity that continue to affect and pollute the earth for years and years to come. And it's a really beautifully written piece, and I highly recommend that. And if I talked about The Last of Us, it would probably be in that sense. Not and then just kind of like, I think this is a good game because... Oops. Okay, we got Invisible Lady, and we have Flying Grim Reaper. Alright, that was pretty good. I'm excited for The Last of Us 2. I worry that since I only have a normal... Oops. Oh, God. Sometimes you can grab onto ledges and sometimes you can't, and it is annoying. I'm curious about The Last of Us 2. I think it's going to be... I mean, I'm sure it's going to be good. I have reservations. I don't like how the trailer implies that they fridge Ellie's girlfriend. I think that it's probably supposed to be misleading, but even if it is misleading, it's still not wild about it. But mostly, I'm worried that it won't run on my normal-ass PS4. Because how, like... It seems like it would just start crying, you know? My poor console was not designed to run games that look like The Last of Us 2. And I kind of feel the same way about Death Stranding, which I will find out much sooner if it can run, or if I'll need to, like, borrow a Pro from someone. Because I don't want to buy... Last of Us 2 and Death Stranding are basically the two remaining games on this console generation, or that will be, like, PS4 exclusives, that I'm really excited about. And I don't want to buy a console for two games that I could ostensibly play on the one that I already have. Like, that just seems silly. And I don't have a 4K TV, so I don't care for the... I don't need the higher resolution. I just want it to, like, run stably. Excuse me. Yeah, I think there might be something going on with Joel, because he looks good. Like, he looked pretty hot in that trailer. And it seems weird for him to look, like, better than the end of the last game, which was, like, you know, a long time ago in that game's universe. So Ellie is just remembering her, like, DILF dad. Oh, don't kill me, don't kill me. Okay. I think we'll make it through this. I just hope that there is... Oh! I hope that there's a shrine on the other side, because I'm not doing great. Ow. Okay, this is an important counter. Okay. Alright, we have no health. Shoot. Not great. Okay, jump, jump, Jump. Don't spend much time. There is poison gas coming. Oh, I was out of it. Man. Yeah, I have heard that that at least one of the devs of The Last of Us 2 is totally like running all her tests with a PlayStation 4 normal. And so that makes me encouraged. That encourages me to think that it won't be too bad. It's just that, I mean, it's like, you know, I have a big gaming PC because, like, I want all those dumb settings that no one ever, like, thinks about when they're actually playing the game, you know? Like, I want their clothes to move extra realistically and all of that. And even if I don't notice it, I still kind of, like, feel bad about not having it, which is totally the, like, kind of gamer consumer culture working on me. But, you know, it's hard to resist. Fortunately, they do not make you fight these gauntlet rooms more than once. So once you've gone through them, you're kind of safe. Hey, thank you so much. Y'all follow 8 Saihara's example. All of this money I'm donating. So, like, you're not even giving it to me. But I very much appreciate it. Here's a small Geller detail is my middle name is Glenn, so my full initials are JGG, which is pretty fun to say, in my opinion. And my social security number is... Wasn't it weird in, like, middle school? And I guess I still kind of know... I know people who are like this now, who are, like, really insecure about their middle names. They would be like, I don't want to tell you my middle name. What's that about? Why? Do people just have goofy middle names? Okay, here's this old lady. I guess she'll help me again. Okay, so this means we're coming into a boss. Which boss will this be? Oh, this one's cool. Not maybe the most visually interesting. But it is a boss over a big fiery pit where you're fighting 3 nuns, so that's something. They're probably not actually nuns. I really need some sword upgrades because I'm just, like, not putting out enough damage here. Jacob, what's your problem? I'm not putting out enough. Come on, heal me! Heal me! Thank you. What's happening now? Oh, big sword lady. Ow! Oh, okay. Dead. Yeah, the more you try to hide your middle name, the more your friends will think it's funny, is a perfect summation of just, like, middle school in general. Okay, well, I think we're probably nearing the end of the stream now. I'll take another crack at these nuns, but I just don't think I'm like strong enough. I'm not strong enough. So we'll see if I can get lucky this time. But probably we will leave this until next time, where I will probably be playing a different game. Maybe Max Payne 3. In my Twitter poll, I did a Twitter poll this morning of what game people wanted to see streamed between this and Max Payne 3, and it was a dead heat. So I just kind of chose Blasphemy, or Blasphemous. But Max Payne 3 is a game that I would love to stream, and so maybe that's what we'll do next week. Oh, we got Big Lady again. Now I figured her out. Anyone in the chat who knows more than me want to talk about what the 3 Augustias are? Because I have no idea. Well, we're doing pretty good here. Let's change my magic, actually. Oh, no, this is the one I wanted. Ow. Okay, well, tried to do magic, immediately got hit, so maybe I won't do magic. Okay, they're turning into the big lady. She'll do the beam over there. That's fine. Oh, she's doing another one. She did 3. Oh, is this just what she does now? Apparently, yes. Oh boy. Okay, well this is actually much easier to avoid than the other things, so I guess we will be able to beat her, knock on wood. I don't remember this in the last, like, I have fought her before, but I don't remember this phase, which is kind of a little awkward. There we go. Good job. Sorry, 3 Augustias. Yeah, it's, the streams are 11:30 on Saturday, or 11:30 Eastern time. So come on by the Saturday morning streams. Our guilt has been expatriated? Look, I'm going to read everything there is to know on Catholicism, and I'll be back next week with some answers. For now, thank you everyone for joining me on the morning stream. I had a great... well, Lemon Lord, I released a video essay this Tuesday, so it'll be a little while since until the next one comes out. But thanks, everyone. Especially thank you to the people who donated. I will donate all of that. I'll post it on Twitter if you want to see it. But yeah, have a great weekend, everyone, and check out Blasphemous. It's a cool game.